right, like I always say, it's good to see another day. What happened? Okay, give me a second, y'all. Let's go live. All right, welcome to this wonderful, thriving Thursday. I'm gonna say thoughtful Thursday today. Today is a thoughtful Thursday. I am thoughtful of how far I have came. I had a conversation this morning, and somebody told me, they said, hey man, the things that you have been through, you don't look like what you've been through. And that was very encouraging today. A lot of things that I have been through in life, I don't look like what I've been through. I don't act like what I've been through. I don't feel like what I've been through. So today is another positive class. Welcome. If you don't know where you're at, you're here at Trauma Support Group Management, hosted by your man, Mr. Darrell Walker, that is glad to help you out to let you know that you can have overcoming over your PTSD's triggers, traumas, and addiction. It's very important to have a good reflection in your mind of where you come from, and then also have a good sight of where you're going. I had a note from one of my friends this morning, and they sent me something. And if you're a person that's alone, that's spending time with yourself, or single in a relationship, this is a good time for you to build yourself, to chase your dreams, and appreciate and love yourself more. Yes, I have been single for a while, but I'm not advertising. I just learned more and more how to love myself, how to see how far I came, how to see my personal relationship with Christ, and enjoy being alone with Christ. Enjoy being in my own home. Enjoy being comfortable within my own skin and my own thoughts and my emotions. This is very healthy for anyone that wants to obtain a healthy lifestyle. If you're, like I said, if you're single or by yourself, do not feel alone. You have you. You can love you. You can encourage you. You can accept you. You are somebody special today. Just say that with me today. Say, I am somebody special. I didn't hear you the first time. So let's repeat it again. You going to say it with me? Say, I am somebody special. You are special. There's a lot of great things about you. You have came a long ways. Still got a long ways to go, but we ain't where we used to be. And some of the things that you've been through, you don't even look like you went through it. Some people look at you and they just think you have all your act together. And guess what? You might don't, but feel like you do. That's encouraging today. So I just want to pass on some encouragement, because we all need encouragement right now in these days of times. So if you didn't get no encouragement from anybody, you got it from your man today at Trauma Support Group Management, to be encouraged and know that you are wonderful. You are a great person. Yes, we all have past histories. We all have past wrongdoings, but you are a wonderful person. Now, today, I'm going to get into the word. I'm going to teach you a class. This is a mental health awareness, part 3, OCD. Let me say that again, y'all. That kind of raw. I'm sorry. Hey, be happy. This is a mental awareness, part 3, OCD. All right, let's go. But before we get into that, let's get into our scripture. If we didn't get into your word today, be into your word. If just want to encourage you, reading the Bible, or have listen to the daily bread, or have any kind of positive prayer or positive mindset when you wake up in the morning, has a big effect on how you are during your course of your morning, or also through your day. I would like to share that it's a practice. You have to practice. It's something that is not done. You have to practice waking up with a positive mindset. But we're gonna get into this. I think I done read the scripture before, but it came back again, so let's read it again. We're in 2 Timothy. If you hear some noise in the background, that's Christian music. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Okay, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. And it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear." Now, I don't know if you paid attention in my past couple of my classes. I was talking about having God's spirit, okay? Because that's how you live, by faith. That's how you please God, is by faith. But you have to have his spirit. So once again, we're coming in this class still talking about the spirit, all right? So God has not given us a spirit of fear, okay? So if you're afraid of something in your lifetime right now, which ties on with this class, if you're afraid, don't be afraid. If you're afraid, that's not from God. He said, but power, you have power. Encouraging yourself, that's power. Believing in yourself, that's power. Having positivity in your life is power, okay? It says power and love. Love others. Love yourself. Do the best you can to be a loving person. And a sound mind. So listen, he gives you not only that the spirit of God don't give us the spirit of fear, but he gives us but of power and love and a sound mind. A sound mind is self-control. Okay? Now, when you have PTSDs, triggers, and traumas, it's very difficult to have a sound mind or self-control. When you deal with hurt emotions, when you deal with trauma, past experiences, or reoccurring events, that's in your life, it's very difficult to have self-control or a sound mind. So today, I want to encourage everyone the best way you can to have not the spirit of fear, but have power, love, and a sound mind. Have some self-control. Have some self-control. I just want to share personally, as a person that come from fornicating. I used to fornicate a lot. I used to lust a lot. But I'm learning now how to have a sound mind, how to have self-control. This is very positive, and it's very, it's a practice. Like I said, it's a very hard practice to do, but you have to practice it because it is very important. That's what I was trying to say. It is very important that you practice power, love, and a sound mind with self-control. Sound mind and self-control is the same thing. So be encouraged today, if you can, at Trauma Support Group Management. And I hope that has helped you so far. So if you're listening so far in this video, we're going to talk about OCD. And OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, okay? Now, in this class today, I'm going to break down O, C, and the D, okay? I'm going to break it down. I wish I knew sign language. I'm going to start learning sign language so I can do my classes in sign language. I love you, okay? I love you. Okay, let's go. All right. So, OCD is, I just want to let you know that there's no cause for OCD. Nobody knows the cause of OCD. It is unknown, okay? And I want to also iterate that it is not a spiritual issue. Having an OCD is not a spiritual issue. I want to say that again, okay? OCD is not a spiritual issue. Nobody knows the causes of OCD. But I want to break down um, what OCD is by each letter today. Okay? So the O stands for obsessive. Okay? The definition for obsessive is, break out the notebook, the nature of obsession. Okay? The nature of obsession. Now, if you don't know what obsession is, I'm going to break that down for you. Okay? Obsession, the state of being obsessed with someone or something. So you could be just obsessed over something and something or someone. Okay? Now we have obsessive, obsession, and then we have obsess. Obsess is preoccupied or filling the mind of something continually, always thinking about it. Or you could be chilling and it would come in intrusively. Now, if you don't know what intrusively means, I'm going to break that down. Intrusively is in a way that is unwelcome, annoying, or that invades someone's space, privacy, or affairs. So some things that come in, if they're intrusive, they're interrupting, that's being intrusive. You ever had a conversation and somebody just come and just break the conversation and act like you ain't even standing there? I had someone do that to me yesterday. They was being intrusive. But guess what? I had a sound mind. Let's go. All right, so also, and to a troubling extent. So you can have these obsessive thoughts in your mind where it can also have you in a troubling extent. It can have you troubled in your mind. It can have you troubled in your emotions or your actions and behaviors. Okay? That is the definition for obsessive, all right? Compulsive, C for compulsive. Compulsive is resulting from or relating to an irresistible urge, especially one that is against one's conscious wishes. So let's understand this. You can have something in your mind that you cannot resist, or it's an urge, and it's always on your conscience. This is like addiction, okay? I would say this would go with addiction. You're always thinking of how to be high. This depression, you're always thinking what makes you sad. Fear, you're always thinking of failure. This is things that are in your conscience, okay? All right. Another definition that comes with compulsive is irresistibility. Now, irresistibility, interested or excited, okay? Excuse me, I'm reading this. Yeah, let me read this right. So, compulsive, resulting from or relating to an irresistible urge, especially one that is conscious wishes, irresistibility, interesting, or excited. So you can think about something all the time that has you excited, or something that you can't. That's why a lot of people struggle with lust, because they're always thinking about something sexual, or they're always thinking about that special body part, or how that person look, or how that person smell, or just the shape or the skin tone. This is irresistibility. I used to deal with this. But there's other compulsions. This is in eating, gambling, it could be self-hatred, which it could be so many things within yourself. And it can be internal and external, y'all. So let's get that. All right. Another definition that goes with compulsive is invoking interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. So listen, being compulsive means you can't resist. That's what I heard. Irresistible 3 times in this. I heard irresistible, irresistibility, and irresistible. Okay, so irresistible twice and irresistibility. So when you're compulsive, it's like you can't resist. Like me, I can't. I have my house. It has to be clean. Like I can't do it. Like my fingernails, my haircut, my groom. Like I have to. There are certain foods that I cannot resist. Okay, there are certain women that I'm learning to resist, but back in the day, there's certain women I couldn't resist. I'm just sharing with you explanations, not explanations. I'm sharing with you things that are hard to resist, like your favorite foods. Some people like driving fast. Some people like being upset. Some people like being depressed. Some people like being sad. These are things that are irresistible. Some people, if you're a person that loves like going to church, that going to church can be irresistible. It can be compulsive. This compulsive is just something that you just really like doing. Okay, all right. It makes you, it gets your attention, it gives your your admiration, and it's in a powerful. It's powerful. It's very irresistible to turn away from. So that is compulsion. Compulsive, excuse me, not compulsion, but compulsive. Okay, understand that. So we did O, we did C. Now let's get into D. All right. D is for disorder. Okay, disorder, a state of confusion. Disorder is when you're in a state of confusion. Now I have suffered this many times. Just not knowing which direction to go, not really knowing what to do, and sometimes if you're in confusion, everybody say, "Well, the confusion is from the devil." No, sometimes confusion can be from just not having your life in order. It's in disorder. I can say that, okay? Because I have lived my life in disorder. All right. So if you're feeling confused, maybe your life is in disorder. All right. Another definition that goes with disorder is an illness or condition that sounds. It doesn't say that, y'all. Okay. It says an illness or condition that's normal. Okay. So you can have an illness, okay, that has you in a disorder like, cancer, whatever. I'm not going to get into all that because I don't know, I don't want to make nobody feel depressed today. But if you have an illness, sometimes a mental health illness, okay, this is helping you understand OCD better. That if you have an illness or a condition that's normal, okay, because you can have conditions that make you feel in disorder. I used to have a addiction. That's a condition. I used to be depressed. That's an illness and a condition. These are things that'll make you feel in disorder. All right. Another one that I have today is disrupt the systematic function or neat arrangement of. Listen, I want to emphasize on this a little bit. When you're trying to clean up or when you're trying to do something better with your life, it's good that you get up and you keep your area in order. Fold your clothes, organize your shelf, dust everything, wipe everything down, because you could tell people how they are by how they represent and how they live. And if you go into your bedroom right now and there's piles of clothes on the floor, the bed ain't made, the bathroom's dirty, that's like being in disorder. This is going with the definition, y'all. Disrupt the systematic function. So disorder is a systematic function. This is how you function. Or neat arrangement of. So, if you're not neat, okay, If you're not being neat, if you're not being clean, if you're disrupt in your systematic, let's break that down. Disrupt in your systematic function. That means you're not functioning correctly. You're not doing things properly. You are in disorder. So let's go over this one more time. All right. So we can understand OCD. So O is for being obsessive. Okay. So you're obsessive for number one. You're obsessed of something. Okay. You're always in a state of being obsessed with something. Then while you're obsessed, is always occupying your mind, then you're compulsive with it. So now that you're obsessed in your mind, you got to have it, or this is always in your mind, something that you got to have. Now you're being compulsive, like, okay, I got to have it now. I want it. Okay, I can't do without it. Now you're being compulsive. Then when you get to your disorder, you don't care. You don't care how. You don't care, or you don't know what's going on. So you're obsessed. You're always thinking about something. You always need it. And then while you're doing all of that, you don't know what's going on. You're confused. Okay? This is very serious, y'all. All right? Okay, we can, let's get into our notes right quick and see if we can get a little help with this. All right? Okay? How to help ourselves with OCD. Okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to help ourselves with OCD. Can we do that? Because we can't do that. Okay? So let's see how to help ourselves with OCD. Let's see how to do this. So, if you can, excuse me. All right. So, if you want to stop obsessing with OCD, let's see what we got here. Okay, you should work with a mental health professional to practice technique like exposure or responsive prevention, ERP, or a type CBT. Many benefits from medication skills. Now, I'm not going to prevent medication. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to promote, not prevent, but I'm not going to promote medications. But listen, self-treatment for OCD involves practice resistance to compulsions. Sometimes we need to just practice not to be in compulsions. All right. Manage your stress through lifestyle changes and use specific techniques like delaying urges, like have self-control, that sound mind. Remember, I was telling you about having a sound mind, okay? And setting aside a worry time. Like I was saying before in the word, he said he doesn't give us a spirit of fear. Fear goes with worrying. We need to learn how not to worry, okay? We really need to do that, all right? So let me see, what else can I give you? Let's try this here. So I see something here for us. So listen, there's a strategy, okay? There's a strategy that you can do with OCD. A strategy from CBT, which y'all know about, cognitive behavior therapy, and exposure to response, ERP therapy that involves delaying a compulsive behavior for 15 minutes after intrusive thoughts or urge arises. So listen, let me slow this down. There are intrusive thoughts. Now I'll tell you about intrusive thoughts in my last. These are when you have OCD, you have intrusive thoughts, okay? And then after that, you get urges. That's why people are in addiction. You think about, I'm trying to help people with addiction. Some people not, listen, I ain't talking about just drugs. You could be an addiction to a lot of things. Food, pills, gambling, sex. I don't know. I thank God he done brought me out a lot of addiction. Weed, marijuana, drinking, hanging out. You could be addicted to the streets. You could be addicted to road rage. You could be addicted to anger, depression. Just so many things that's negative that you could be addicted to. And I want to help you out. I want to help you out. That you know that you even in also when you have that compulsiveness, them are urges that uprise. Like sometimes you quit smoking, you might get a craving for a cigarette. That's a urge uprise. Some people in addiction, if you're clean, sometimes you might get that because they always tell you. I don't know why I'm saying this, but check your cravings. If you're doing good and you're doing great in life, even in any area, I'm not going to be specific, but any area that you're coming from, even your depression, whatever, because sometimes you can crave depression, you can crave anger, you can crave misery because that's what you're used to. But when you're coming from that, check your urge arises. Don't let that compulsion come back. Don't let that flesh start beating again. Yeah, that's why I was just gonna say that. Okay. Now the goal is to break compulsion and anxiety. The goal is to break compulsion and anxiety cycles. Okay, because that's what OCD does. It gives you anxiety, right? As it teaches the brain that anxiety can decrease naturally over time without compulsion. So you can decrease naturally over time. You're going to have to start practicing some things that I'm teaching you today. All right? Work on your intrusive thoughts. When thoughts come to you, like if you think about something and it's negative, say no. Or you get that urge, say no. Okay? This can decrease naturally over time without the compulsion. People that are coming from drugs, they're learning how to say no without that desire or that compulsion or that desire to have that. I'm working on that. I'm still working on that today I die. But listen, this is a great note for this. By resisting the urge to perform a compulsion for a set period, individuals or you can learn to tolerate uncertainty and reduce the power of OCD. So listen, I'm going to give you some of these things that I see here, right? So this is how it works, okay? You can delay the compulsion. When an intrusive thought or urge to perform a compulsion arises, set a time for 15 minutes. Sit down and just stop what you're doing and get a sound mind, okay? Number 2, you can resist the urge. Doing that in 15-minute window, do not engage in compulsive behavior. Do not anything that's going to make you get into compulsive behavior more. Number 3, allow the anxiety to subdue. That means calm down, okay? During that 15 minutes, do not engage in anything, all right? I said that before, but allow the anxiety to subside. Observe the anxiety. Observe what's making you have anxiety, okay? Do not act on it. Whatever's giving you anxiety, don't act on it, okay? The goal is to see if the intensity of the urge decreases naturally over the 15 minutes. So listen, some of us, sometimes when we get this OCD kicking in, we need to stop and sit down, okay? Just take a break, okay? Number 4, after 15 minutes, check if the urge is still strong, all right? You might find it has lessened or passed away entirely, and then you can decide whether to perform on the compulsion or not. So you got to understand what your compulsion is, okay? I'm going to do a class on that. But listen, number 5, gradually increase the time. With consistent practice, you can increase the delay of period from 15 minutes to a long intervals, okay? You could do this, okay? You could extend the time. So if 15 minutes ain't good enough for you, you might need to go harder. Now, this is the goal. The goals are to reduce anxiety naturally, okay? The core idea is that you don't give the compulsion the anxiety you feel when eventually decreases it on its own. Now, so if you don't feed your OCD, it can decrease, okay? It will decrease, all right? Another thing, number 2, with the goal is break the cycle. It directly interrupts the pattern where a thought leads to an urge. So, like I said, you can think of this helping people with addiction too, y'all. Quit thinking about drugs. Quit thinking about sex. Quit thinking about gambling. Quit thinking about whatever it is that's your weakness, okay? Whatever your weakness is, quit thinking about it. Because, when you think about it, then that compulsion comes in. And then when you get it or you're in the midst of it, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that all go together, all right? He says, the core idea is that you don't give the compulsion, the anxiety you feel will eventually decrease on its own. Listen, I'm trying to help you get self-control, all right? Number 2, with the goal, break the cycle. And it directly interrupts the pattern where a thought leads to an urge, okay? To a compulsion. So a urge which leads to a compulsion, which provides temporary relief, but enforces the OCD cycle. So listen, if you having an urge and you're being compulsive with it, if you feed it, it's only going to give you a temporary relief. That's just like getting high, okay? It's just like getting mad. It's just like having sex. These days, just a temporary relief. We need to learn how not to go for temporary relief. We need to have a sound mind or have self-control. That's what I'm teaching you today, to have self-control, all right? We're almost out of here. Number 3 on the goal, build a new neural pathways. Now listen, I want to help you with this that will help me. Saying no is a new neural pathway. If you have a thought, because if people from addiction or from lust or for whatever you have deal with within yourself personally, you always thinking about this in your mind negatively. You can say no. That's a new neural pathway, just saying no, because you have power and love. That is the power and love that you will have within yourself, okay, to have a sound mind. Just simply saying no, all right? So by repeatedly facing the fear and resisting the compulsion, you can train your brain, reducing the urgency of future obsession. So this is how you stay clean. Okay? This is how you stay happy. This is how you stay self-aware, okay? This is how you are in tune with yourself. Because listen, I want to help everyone today, and I am helping you. It's all about retraining your brain. Okay? If you retrain your brain, you can do the same. Okay? If you retrain your brain, you can do the same. What I mean do the same, not insane, but the same. Not same, not SAME, but SANE. If you train your brain, you can do the same. You won't be insane anymore. Having OCD is insanity. I'm rapping today, y'all. Having OCD is insanity. It is, okay? But if you retrain your brain, you can have the same, okay? And thank you for watching Trauma Support Group Management, hosted by your man, Mr. Darrell Walker. I hope that helped you. I know I helped you, and I want to continue to help you, all right? I got a little lost here. And it's great. This is great because I have learned to overcome with these steps at the end of the video. And I hope I help you understood OCD more better. Thank you for watching.